Joe Biden, said, as I said yesterday on the podcast and on this channel, that, really the show, but that he was going to give you $2,000 checks. And then I told you that he lied about it and, is really doing $1,400. Well, there's a few things you got to realize. So the first thing is that Joe Biden is seeking to work with Republicans. Why would you work with Republicans? He's seeking a deal with Republicans to pass a relief package. First off, he only gives you $1,400. He lies to you and says, vote blue no matter who. So he's got a bunch of right-wing corporatists in his cabinet, fossil fuel executives, pharma executives, defense contractors, board members of defense contract companies, and the military-industrial complex, and Wall Street. And then he doesn't want to give you $2,000. Hey, way to go. Vote blue no matter who doesn't give you $2,000, because neither will the Republicans, but the Democrats sure as hell won't do it, apparently, according to Joe Biden's plan. So he unveils this $1.9 trillion plan. It's got a bunch of crap in it. And then it's got this $1,400 measly ass check. Because he thinks, well, oh, look, I'll just add to the $600 and it'll make $2,000. It's almost like, hey, I'm not going to give you $2,000, but I will expand the surveillance state. Oh, that's awesome. So illegally spy on me as an American, take away my constitutional rights, violate my Fourth Amendment rights of that says no searches and unreasonable searches and seizures. Oh, that's okay, but don't give me $2,000. And he seeks to work with Republicans. So he's saying that he's not going to use the budget reconciliation. What does that mean? It means that he only needs 51 votes instead of 60 votes, and he would just ram through his agenda because that's what we elected him to do, and then Republicans wouldn't be able to use the filibuster to block his agenda. That's what it's meant for. And Joe Biden's saying, I don't want to do that. He doesn't want to use budget reconciliation because, you see, the Republicans, they don't come into power and say, well, I don't want to use budget reconciliation. I think the Democrats should still be able to use the filibuster. Bull. Hell no, they don't do that. What do the Republicans do? What are they known for? They're known for coming into Congress, passing through their agenda, shoving it down our throats, and saying, F you, we were elected. Now quiet down, settle down, be good Americans, and vote for us again. What do the Democrats do? They get elected, they lose elections, they whine and complain and bitch about the Republicans and say, oh my God, they're not helping you. And then they come into power and they say, oh, we're not going to ram through our agenda like the Republicans do. We're not going to get you immediate relief. We're going to see how much the Republicans can take away from your relief, and then that's what will pass. Because Joe Biden wants to pass everything bipartisan, in a bipartisan fashion. Everything. Even though Republicans, the reason they lost was they didn't do $2,000, Joe. That's the reason they lost. And yet Joe Biden's here like, I just want to bipartisan fashion. Woo. So anytime you vote for Republicans, you get Republican legislation. Anytime you vote for Democrats, you get Republican legislation. So it makes no difference who you vote for. Joe, you got a Democratic majority in the House, although it's very slim because Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats don't know how to win elections. And you got progressives who are progressive hacks, who are Democratic Party hacks, who threatened to change the Democratic Party and do a hostile takeover, and then don't use don't do it and don't use their leverage and the only power they ever had to force the vote, but they don't do that. Nope. So, but you have a small majority in the Senate where your vice president can break a freaking tie, and you don't want to use that. You know the American people are dying left and right. Every city in this country, every town in this country is suffering. Nobody has money. And you're only wanting to do what Republicans want. You're wanting to work with Republicans and not work with your Democrats to say $15 an hour, bitch, here. That's what we're passing. No, it's got to be what the Republicans want. $2,000. Here you go. Nancy, pass it in the House. Chuck Schumer, pass it in the Senate. Bernie, get your whole budget committee on board. Have it by my goddamn desk by January 25th. I don't know. Nope, he doesn't say that. He never says that. What he's saying is, I know we have a Democratic majority, but I'm going to give us right-wing Republican legislation. So more tax cuts for the rich, more deregulation of Wall Street. Oh, hey, but don't worry, you don't get $2,000. Oh, but hey, don't worry, Bernie Sanders is the budget chairman. Boy, I think Bernie's going to use his power, right? The power that Bernie Sanders has, right? Obviously, Bernie's going to use all that power, and Bernie's going to get us Medicare for all and emergency health care relief. Bernie Sanders said, I'm going to get him to do this. I'm going to get him to do emergency health care by budget reconciliation. And what did Bernie say? He also said, well, whatever Joe Biden wants to do. So if Joe Biden says no, we're going to not do it because Joe Biden said no. I'm not saying that. Bernie Sanders is saying that. Bernie Sanders is letting you down. Bernie Sanders is listening to a right-winger disguised as a Democrat. Come on, Bernie. Who are you now, Bernie? Who are you? Are you a person of the people? Or are you a person of the Democratic Party? Do you support the people or the Democratic establishment who hates your ass? It looks like Bernie Sanders only does what the people want when the Democrats tell him to. And you hear that because people are here at home. But so that's what Bernie does. Is he's here for you, for me, and the rest of us when the Democratic Party tells him to. Bernie, don't be going supporting the people or we'll start taking away your committee seats. Bernie, you won't be in the club for the last years of your life. So be careful, Bernie. It's almost like, this began when Bernie started saying, oh, Joe Biden's going to be the next FDR. Since when the hell is Joe Biden going to be the next FDR? Joe Biden takes money from the big donors and the corporations. When the shit is he going to be FDR 2.0? No, Bernie, you were supposed to be FDR 2.0. You. So, all of you who said, oh, we're going to move him left, vote for Joe Biden, we're going to move him left. You lied. You're goddamn liars. Because Joe Biden's not going to the left at all. You see him folding on $2,000 checks. You see him not using budget reconciliation where he only needs 51 votes and he doesn't need to give a damn what the Republicans want because he didn't get elected to do what Republicans wanted. He got elected because he's supposed to be a quote-unquote Democrat and he's supposed to do what the Democratic base wants to do. The Democratic base wants him to do. No, he's not going to do that. And so he's going to let Republicans chip away at your relief. But don't worry, we'll have more tax cuts for Wall Street. Oh, and by the way, one of his economic advisors is Larry Summers. Larry Summers got us into the Great Recession and the subprime mortgage crisis. Larry Summers is the reason we're in this mess for right now. He's the main reason. He had to resign in disgrace in 2006 after a stormy 5-year tenure at Harvard. That's who Joe Biden has. That's why he's a Democratic hack, and nothing's ever going to happen under him, or Bernie Sanders, for that matter, as budget chairman.